Hey guys, Joe from Real Talk, and today I am going to be giving you my possible theories of Supreme Leader Snoke. Who is he? Did the film give us clues on his origins and identity? It's a good indication that they did not, since we were left speculating on him after weeks and weeks of watching Star Wars The Force Awakens. Personally, I've seen The Force Awakens 4 times. I still am not sure who Supreme Leader Snoke is. There are theories that have sprung from the film, and many looked for very subtle clues after watching it so many times, like myself. And I've looked online. Could he really be Jar Jar Binks? Probably not. But let's go through some of the most popular theories in the fandom so far. Is Supreme Leader Snoke a clone of Anakin Skywalker and of Darth Vader? Now this is a very crazy theory, but one worth of discussion. Kylo Ren mentioned in the film that Supreme Leader Snoke was considering using a clone army for the First Order, but Hux insisted on training individuals from birth. Could Snoke have a soft spot for clones because he's a clone himself? A major clue could be in his facial disfigurement. He has very similar scars to Darth Vader when he was unmasked by Luke Skywalker in Return of the Jedi. Also, Snoke seems so bent on finding and destroying Luke Skywalker. Could there be a bigger connection between the two of them other than just Snoke hates Skywalker? Cloning doesn't seem so far-fetched in the Star Wars universe since George himself used that concept in the prequels. Now this theory may or may not be true, but I think it's false because it's very far-fetched beyond the casual moviegoer. So no moviegoer would really buy this premise since we've seen Vader die and Anakin become one with the Force. It seems like we're getting more of Darth Vader as a philosophical figure in the new trilogy rather than in physical form. Although Star Wars is great with the mythos, I think that this is way beyond what Star Wars should be doing instead of just creating a whole new character or a character that was previously introduced. So for those of you hoping that Darth Vader will return in physical form, don't hold on to your hopes. Don't hold on to your hopes for too much. Alright, so the next theory could be that Snoke himself could be a Kylo Ren from the future. Again, this is very far-fetched, but I will go by the physical appearance of Snoke. If you see after his battle with Rey, Kylo Ren suffered some significant scars in his face, around his head. It seems like his body seems very injured. I don't think he's paralyzed as bad as Finn was, but I think that Kylo Ren is suffering from some sort of scar tissue, and so is Snoke. Maybe Snoke came from the future through some sort of form and wants to prevent an incoming death. Maybe he understands that Rey is very powerful, and if she continues to grow with the Force and learn from Luke Skywalker, that his incoming death would be imminent. And Kylo Ren doesn't want that in the future. Snoke could be using a futuristic device to project himself in the past. Snoke could know what happened and would want to prevent his imminent death. Now, again, this theory is so far-fetched and it has to do a lot of explaining. It's most likely debunked because of the novel for The Force Awakens, and it mentioned that Snoke was trying to talk Rey into killing Kylo Ren through the Force and through her mind, and why would Snoke want to kill himself in the past? It just doesn't make any sense to me. I think this theory is very far-fetched, but it's very intriguing in terms of learning what kind of motivation goes beyond Snoke. You know, could this be a lot more personal than we thought? A more likely theory is that Snoke is a former significant member or even a former chancellor of the New Republic. Maybe Snoke was a very power-hungry senator that didn't get what he wanted, so he resorted to creating the First Order, maybe to extort his dominance, because we've seen in the past how, and even in human history, how some certain senators or generals kind of gain power in their government through usage of military force. Maybe he and Leia Organa have some sort of personal conflict that resorted to Snoke being scarred by an angered Luke. It seems that Snoke wasn't very nervous about attacking and destroying the Hajdian system, the system that carries the new capital of the New Republic. Maybe he has some sort of revenge tactic to use against the Organas and Skywalkers, and even Solo, by seducing Ben Solo through the usage of the Dark Force and making him become Kylo Ren. This theory cannot really be proven wrong because we don't see the origins of Snoke. And like I said, most of these theories would either be proven right or wrong through an origin story of Snoke. But at the same time, you know, you don't want to reveal too much of the eggs in the basket because you got so many plot details to explain. You have so many characters to introduce to reintroduce, so it's a very tough handle to do for J.J. Abrams, and I think that there was plenty of subtle hints left in the movie for audiences to speculate. I think this theory is unlikely because Abrams and Kennedy wouldn't make Snoke Palpatine 2.0. Palpatine used the dark side of the Force to take control of the Galactic Republic. Having another dark side user take control of the government would be too familiar, and I would like to see the new trilogy strive away from that direction. Also, J.J. Abrams mentioned that Snoke was old enough to see the rise and the fall of the Galactic Empire, so maybe he'd see how that failed and wouldn't want to do what Palpatine did. So my final theory is that Snoke is Darth Plagueis. Now, this is undoubtedly the most popular theory, and for a very good reason. Snoke is described to be very powerful, but at the same time very vulnerable. I mentioned before how he was alive before the Empire was born, and he saw the fall of it, and he is considered by Kylo Ren to be very wise. Snoke appears to be very scarred and scared of Luke Skywalker. Maybe Snoke saw how dangerous the Skywalkers were when Palpatine faced him. Palpatine also mentioned in his story when he was telling Anakin Skywalker in Revenge of the Sith that Darth Plagueis had the power to cheat death. In Palpatine's story, he said that Plagueis' apprentice killed him. Could Snoke have avoided death and only been left scarred for decades? Maybe Snoke was left so crippled that he couldn't do anything and decided to wait and bide his time. And whenever the Empire fell, Snoke saw his opportunity and took it. Here's another little hint too. Snoke's theme song from the soundtrack of The Force Awakens is also very eerily similar to the song played when Palpatine was talking to Anakin and telling the story of Darth Plagueis the Wise. Now, I know that Andy Serkis went on Twitter and stated that Snoke is not Plagueis, but can we really trust this? I mean, J.J. Abrams also said in the past that Benedict Cumberbatch wasn't Khan in Star Trek Into Darkness. Remember how that was false? Remember how Benedict Cumberbatch wasn't supposed to be Khan and he was? I think that this is all done on purpose to throw the audiences off, and Serkis might have been instructed by J.J. Abrams to do this. Now, this theory could be wrong for the same reason why Snoke isn't a former senator. It could be treading the grounds of the prequels, and Abrams has stated that he's tried to avoid taking too much material from the previous films and just create something original. I personally think that Supreme Leader Snoke is Darth Plagueis because all the pieces are there, and I refuse to accept the Jar Jar theory for obvious reasons. But what do you guys think? Who is Supreme Leader Snoke? He's obviously somebody wise and has major beef with Luke Skywalker and the Resistance. Comment below and tell me your theory. Also, leave a like for this video and subscribe for more awesome videos coming up, guys. This has been Joel from Real Talk. Thanks for watching.